I was born in Berlin in Germany.
Yes.
A family that was of Jewish origin,
Yeah.
But Christian.
Yeah.
That is more or less Christian, unbelieving Christian, and so I had a Christian upbringing.
Yeah.
My mother was wonderful, but
what was she like?
my mother was a marvelous woman who loved me very much, but left me quite free, and she was interested in many things, in art, in Dostoevsky, I mean in many spiritual things. We went as children in the little holidays in Germany. She would take the car and we would go from cathedral to cathedral to the great churches in Germany, Romanesque and Gothic, Baroque, the medieval sculpture. She loved this. So this was my experience with her. She became a nurse because she wanted to do something. I mean, she wanted to serve. She wanted. I mean, she was a spiritual woman. In 1939, she remained in Berlin, and she died in Berlin in 1942. She had meningitis.
So, but then when your mother died, you weren't there?
No. During the war. No.
And what kind of contact did you have with her from England?
While I was interned, I was able to write to her to Germany because internees are able to write. There are special letters for internees they can write. But when I was released in Canada, I couldn't write to her. I did not know that we had a Jewish background until Hitler came. It was the laws of Nuremberg in 1936 that decided who was a Jew and who was not. And so this was, we became Jewish then, I mean listed as Jewish. And I had the great fortune of being able to leave Germany as a boy of about 15 at a children's transport to England. And I went to England. I worked on a farm in England. I was interned in England as a German because we were interned. Canada offered to take the prisoners of war for Great Britain, first class meaning combatants and second class meaning civilian internees. And so I was brought here. I was interned in May of 1940. And I was released at the end of April in 42. Thanks to the activity of the YWCA, they found sponsors for us that enabled us to go to university here. And so the government said, well, if this money is available, we will release them. And so I was released in 1942, and I went to McMaster University to study mathematics and physics. We had a camp school made of professors, German professors, who taught us without books at the beginning simply because they were intellectual. It was the real Germany. I mean, there were Jews and Christians and socialists and communists and liberals and artists, all refugees from Hitler. We had our own kitchen. I mean, the army brought us the food, and we had our own kitchen, and we had a red kitchen made up of communists. We had the next team we called the black kitchen. They were priests and brothers. And then we had a warm kitchen, and warm is the Austrian word for gay. And so they were gays who did so there were 3 different teams.
Who took turns cooking?
That's right.
Which kitchen were you?
No, I wasn't at all. No, they were very generous. They said we all could work and do a little work for 50 cents a day or something like this. But the older men said, we have young people here, they should study. So they created a school, and so I studied. We had one man who was an educator who knew North America, a German, and he got in touch with McGill, and we wrote our junior matriculation for McGill. We were behind barbed wire. Oh yes, I mean this was barbed wire. We lived very crowded space, there's double beds with that much space in between. For older people it must have been very hard. For us, it was a wonderful adventure. Every night there was something. It was a lecture, poetry. There was always some events in the evening.